Hello and welcome to episode 19 of our McLaren F1 Manager series as we're heading to the United States for the Grand Prix at COTA, and that comes off the back of Qatar, which was probably our worst Grand Prix all season. Both Oscar and Lando struggling in that race, and really shows the picture of where our car is now. We are basically 8th on the grid, and that's what that race shows. So we were a reflection of where the car should be, but Lando has been outperforming the car, but unfortunately unable to do that in the last race, and his point scoring run came to an end. However, the saving grace was the Alpines also failed to score, so we keep that 13-point advantage, and 5th still very much on the cards and achievable in the constructors. As I say, we're about to jump into the Grand Prix weekend in COTA, but if you're new to the series or returning but you're not yet subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and get involved in the comments. And with that, let's get underway with this episode. First thing we're going to do is we've got a spare design slot, and we're focusing on the research for next year's car. And the parts affected, as we've been through before, is the rear wing, front wing, suspension, and underfloor. So the only one missing at the moment is a front wing. Going to go ahead, get a front wing underway. And we'll use the remaining CFD and wind tunnel times on this. We're going to focus on that low speed, because that's where the biggest loss is going to be next year. And we'll go for something like that. Keep one engineer on that. Going to take 45 days at a cost of $1.6 million. We've just had another research project finish, this time underfloor, and we're simply going to go in and replace that with another underfloor research project. Unfortunately, no CFD or wind tunnel time at the moment. So we can't place any hours on it, but again we're focusing on that low speed, slightly the medium, and a little bit on the high speed. And again we'll go with one engineer, 43 days at a cost of $1.4 million. The car is not looking great because we have sacrificed this car and focused on next year's car, probably from after the first 5-6 races of the season. So as you can see, ranked on the grid, 19th on a couple of these, which will be 19th and 20th, so last for these, acceleration and engine cooling. Cornering is really where we're at in this game, that's what's king, and we've dropped down now to 15th and 17th, so between that sort of 8th and 9th fastest car on the grid. So we're ahead of the AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo. That is about it. So as I say, going to be a real struggle to get any more points in these last 5 races. So yeah, with that, we're ready to jump in to the United States Grand Prix and begin practice in COTA. As we get Oscar out of the pit lane, let's get Lando out as well and hunt down the best setup we can get in the only practice session we'll get before Parc Ferme. This is where we are standing before we go into qualifying. So track acclimatization, 37% for Lando, 27% for Oscar. Car parts knowledge will be 100% because they fully know their car parts, because we've not changed those for some time. And yeah, although we have designed a new chassis actually, which we will use before the end of the season, so that will dip probably for the next Grand Prix. Setup satisfaction, 76% for Lando, which isn't bad at all. We make some minor adjustments, but yeah, we'll see how we go. That's not too bad. Oscar we don't know until he gets a little bit more running. So as we head into qualifying, driver prep, 72% for Lando, 60% for Oscar. So we go, Norris is underway, second flying lap. He's not in too bad shape here at all. Let's hope for some green sectors. So bottom 5, 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 AlphaTauris, which is about right. So I think they're not a threat to us. Magnussen is quite a bit of Hulkenberg, so it's whether they'll go faster. Gasly is a surprise as well. So yeah, we're definitely not secure yet, and we are not going faster. Not going faster yet.
Good job, let's check it.
So Sargent and Ocon have not gone faster. So Norris is secure because I'm pretty confident these AlphaTauris and Romeos are not going to go faster than us. So Norris is secure. Piastri is at threat. And to be fair, I'm just going to call Lando in because he's not going faster anyway. And he is safe. So it's all on Oscar here. And it's not looking good for an improvement at the moment. Let's just hope no one else is improving around him. Hulkenberg about to go across the lines. Let's see if he's going to jump Piastri. He does. So Piastri now under threat by Gasly and Tsunoda. Piastri crossing the line now. Doesn't go quicker. Where is Tsunoda? Tsunoda's next to cross the line. Is Yuki going to bump Piastri out? No. So it's down to Pierre Gasly. He makes a couple of attempts up on his teammate. He will knock Piastri out. Gasly across the line. No. That is handy indeed. And Alpine, our competitors for 5th in the constructors. Gasly is out. To be honest with you, I don't want to break the cost cap. And Lando, for the sake of maybe 2 positions, maybe we'll run Lando. We'll run Lando once. I'm not going to run Oscar. See what Lando can do. Ocon's across the line. Nothing spectacular in there, is there? It's going to be interesting. What's Lando going to post here then? Come up to the final corner. Are we going to stay in 14th? Or are we going to make some gains here? Lando comes across the line now. And yes, 12th. So I think that's where he was in Q1. So Hulkenberg in front of Piastri. So Piastri will jump up 1. Depends on what Lewis's penalty is. So Lando may jump up 1 as well. But again, Lando has out-qualified both the Alpines. So that's the main thing, really, we're trying to achieve at the moment. Let's see what happened in Q3. And Perez, wow. Perez out-qualifies Max, who's only achieved 5th. So Perez on pole, Charles Leclerc 2nd, Lance Stroll in 3rd, Carlos Sainz 4th, Max 5th, Fernando 6th, Albon 7th. So they're in a little battle with Haas. So this is getting interesting. Split by the 2 Mercedes, but Lewis is going to drop down. Russell, then Hamilton. K-Mag in 10th, and then, as we said, Lando 12th, Oscar Piastri in 15th. But we will see where we start the sprint. But we will jump back into practice 2 before we do that. So overall, then, now I've finished practice 2. Pretty handy, to be fair. Lando, 96% setup, 100% on the car parts knowledge, 81% track acclimatization, which again, not too bad across 2 practice sessions. Overall, 93% driver preparation. Lando, 95% on his setup, 100% car parts knowledge, 74% track acclimatization. So a little bit less than Lando by 3%, 90% on his driver prep. And again, confirmation then, Lando heading into sprint race and the full race with 93% driver preparation, and Oscar Piastri with 90%. Let's go with that then. We'll have a bit of a split strategy in this sprint. We'll run Lando on the softs, better with tyre management, so I think he can make those last. Oscar will run on the mediums. Here we go then, 4 lights, 5 in this sprint, underway, Perez on pole.
Away we go.
So obviously these grid penalties don't take effect until the main race. That's why we are starting in 12th and 15th. But for the main race, well, they will be set depending where we finish here. So I forgot about that before we came in, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, so pretty split here. We have got Perez on the hards, Gasly on hards, Tsunoda on hards, Lando the only one going on the softs. So we'll see how that works out for us. We can definitely make these softs last, whether they're going to be the best tyre. We'll wait and see. Very interesting that Perez is the only one in the top 16 on hards, and Gasly on hards, and Tsunoda. So we're hoping this backfires for Gasly and he drops further down. Ocon's on the softs, so actually this has worked out again pretty well, although I thought we were the only one on softs there with Lando. We're not, and what's handy for us, the only other driver on the softs is Ocon. Gasly is on the hards, but if that doesn't work out for him, we've got a good chance of staying ahead of these Alpines, and that's really all we need to do. And if we can keep in 12th, even if we lose Hulkenberg for a little while, we've still got a chance of nicking a point once we get to the full race. Hulkenberg's going to have us here, though. He's nearly alongside us. Once he opens that DRS, it's going to be job done for Nico.
Back in the rhythm.
We're out of DRS to Hulkenberg now as well, unfortunately, and Ocon's closing. Piastri, Ocon's getting past us.
Let's get back in the rhythm.
This is fine because they've used a lot of tyre life, so just wait and see how this... They're not going to be able to push on these tyres the whole race, so taking a bit of pain at the moment. Lando's not in a bad place here. We've got good tyre life.
Ocon has also pitted.
Ocon stopped. Ocon is... yeah. Well, Ocon's last, that's what I can tell you. As these Hasses are battling away, which probably isn't helping them there. Oof. Yeah, they're really fighting away, and Lando's right onto their gearboxes now. And all whilst we're conserving tyre life. As Ocon, surely got to be softs. I think they were softs when I looked at them there. Yeah. So fresh softs, he's going to push hard, but he's... oh, I don't know, actually. He's not that far off, is he? Piastri's now got Gasly behind him. He's going to start to push on those hards with 2.4 for Ricardo now. Piastri, yeah, he's just literally where it's at. We've now got 8 laps to go. As Lando, late braking on K-Mag, taking him by surprise. This is all whilst we're still light on the tyres here. This is really good work from Lando. He squeezed in between these Hasses. K-Mag, though, diving back. K-Mag, as we know, is one not to give up a fight. Even if it's for 20th, he'd still be battling hard. But he's going to see Lando go past him there. So, right, Norris is now going to be in the DRS of Hulkenberg. We've got 2 seconds to Sargent. Can Lando get Hulkenberg here, though? Hulkenberg's got no DRS, so there's a good chance here for Lando. There's a very good chance for Lando to move himself up into 11th here. And we see Logan in front of us, and then he's a further 2 seconds back off Alex, his teammate. Outside for Nico. Ooh, nearly contact there. Well, that's what we really don't want because we can't afford to lose parts at all. That's fine. That's fine for now because we're sort of still managing these tyres just until we're in a nice position to start pushing a little bit harder. See here the advantage we've got, but obviously the drop-off is down here, so Norris is back past Hulkenberg in the midst of all that. We're not getting replays for some reason. And we're 1.3 off Sargent. I think we just have to concentrate really on Lando's race again here. As Norris now up alongside Sargent. Are we getting this one done? We are. I think now is the time definitely to go standard, and we'll push a bit on the fuel as well with Lando. Bit of deployment as well. What about here? I think we're a bit too far back.
2 laps to go.
Maybe we're not. Ooh, just a little bit too far back. 10th is definitely possible. Alex going defensive here. Lando's got good pace, DRS and ERS. Lando through. Alex is going to want to fight this back, but I think we've got that done. Good work from Lando and good tyre management. 36%. Now approaching the last lap. As Charles has won the race for Ferrari, the sprint race. But Lando, a great little drive on those soft tyres to make them last. And we finish 9th in the sprint. And with Hamilton taking a penalty, we will start the race in 8th.
That's a checkered flag.
With our competitors in Alpine starting in probably 12th and 16th, I'd imagine. Maybe actually 11th and 15th, because I think Hulkenberg might have a penalty. But that is a great little drive from Lando to get us 9th and a good chance for points in the full race. Oh, and there we go. Max has got a... I don't wonder why they're showing Max there. Charles won, but Max obviously got enough points in the sprint race to become world champion in this 2023 season. Where did he finish? 5th. So 4 points was obviously enough for him, and those 4 points means he is world champion in this season. And there we have it. Lando up 3. Brave strategy to go on soft on light. Worked out for us, up 3 places to 9th. Hamilton takes a penalty, so we'll start the Grand Prix in 8th. Oscar Piastri, a bit of a difficult one there. Sprints for him because he needs to manage his tyres, which he's not too great on. 16th, down 1, but we'll take that. We're in and around those Alpines, so we'll see what we can do with him in the full race. We are going to use the same tyre compounds for both drivers, but a bit of a split strategy with Oscar starting on the hards. He's then switching to 2 stints on the mediums. Lando's going to start this race on the medium, then switching to the hard for the medium stint, then finishing off on the medium. So a little bit of a split strategy. With that said, I think we're ready to jump in to this Grand Prix.
It's the United States.
See what we can do in this one. 4 lights, 5.
And it's lights out, and away
They're still on. The lights are still on. They're gone. They all false started. They're still on, the lights. What's happened there? Anyway, bit of a glitch there by the looks of it. But we are underway. So Norris in 8th. So he's retained that 8th place. Oscar's dropped down to 60. Let's have a look at tyre check. So most drivers on medium. There's a few soft runners, and there's only one hard runner, and that is ourselves, Oscar Piastri. So we'll see how we go with him. He may drop backwards in this first stint, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, he's on the hard. He's got Zhou with a soft car behind him, then 2 mediums. So Guan Yu's probably going to be quite quick. As we say that, it looks like he's looking to make that move. To be fair, he'll want to get that done quickly. His tyres are 2 steps softer than ours. And it looks like he's through and got that move done. Oscar having a little bit of a fight back here. But no, as we see a replay there of Zhou getting past us.
Here we are then,
as I say, he is on the softs, we're on the hard, so
they decide to give it a go.
Quite hard to defend this early on as well, because his tyres will be up to temperature a lot quicker than ours. He's passed us. Oscar down to 17th, so a tough start for Oscar, but as I say, he is the only one running on the hard tyres. We're not developing this car, we haven't done now for a long time, and we're still hanging on to 5th in the constructors. Alpine are about 12-13 points behind us. Again, looking at this race, Alpine, Ocon's in 11th, Gasly 15th, so they're going to do well to get points, so looking quite good as Alex Albon's making a move on the outside of Lando here. And Albon gets that one done. We're moving backwards early on here.
Let's have a look at that. Here we are then, looking at turn 12. The opportunity's there.
Which is sometimes the way, because the AI do really abuse their tyres early on.
And Alex Albon completes the move.
So Albon gets past us there. Lando down to 9th. As behind us,
Right
Valtteri
then,
gets
take a
past
look now.
Piastri.
Now this was Valtteri Bottas. It's there for the taking.
Not great so far for our drivers. They're seeing cars go past them, but
And up
as I
they
say, I'm
go
not too
to
worried at the moment.
17th.
Piastri's hanging in there. As Hulkenberg gets past Piastri, so we thought Piastri was going to
Nico
drop to last.
Hulkenberg
It's
there.
taken a while, but he's edging his way to the back of the grid,
Begging to be
unfortunately.
taken.
As I say, he's the only one at the moment on the hard tyres, so hopefully Piastri's race will come to him a little bit later.
That sees them move up into 18th.
We go need good exit off here. Joe has not got DRS on his teammate. It's 2.3 seconds back, so should be job done here. Here we go, run alongside now. Should have inside here. This should be pretty easy work for Oscar. Though I thought we'd get that done a lot earlier. But it does look like Oscar's got that done. So he's moved back into 18th. Looks like Hamilton's had an off because he's just
got
dropped.
a yellow flag here.
And it is. Lewis has had a spin. Oh dear. Amateur hour for Hamilton. Who's dropped it and he's going to have to hold it there maybe for the whole grid to go past unless there's a gap. Mercedes in uproar. What's happened here then? Has he had to hold it there? No, he's got going again, but Piastri's got past him, so that's nice again, because Hamilton can hold up Tsunoda. Although, he shouldn't be holding him up, although he has ruined his tyres there. Hamilton may dip into the pits because of that spin. Oh, and Danny Rick's had a pit stop issue, so this is good for Piastri.
Ricciardo swinging in.
Daniel Ricciardo is a couple of positions ahead of Oscar.
But they run into trouble and it holds up their stop.
Looks to be a jack issue, so that is handy for Oscar. So Charles should make his way past us. He's going to be frustrated there, though. That's going to lose him time. Let's hope for a nice clean pit stop. Our pit crew has been struggling recently. I mean, anything sort of sub 3 seconds is going to be pretty good for us. We'll take it. But there's been quite a few errors recently, so let's hope for a good one here. No. Classic. Oh, this pit crew, that's awful as well. It's so slow. 8.6, lost us 6 seconds. Oh, this pit crew is absolutely awful. I mean, if I could sack them all, I would do it. That's ruined our race again. 6 seconds. I mean, I think we did have 7 seconds on Magnussen, thankfully. Still, it's just not good enough. Can't afford these errors every race.
Confirm.
Not really the place of the track to do it, so hopefully when we get round here, Oscar can move out of the way. He does. A nice swap there. As Bottas pits. Oscar's due to stop on lap 21. As Ocon pits. Ocon was behind Lando. So hopefully that's staying the same. Certainly closer though because of Lando's pit stop issue. Hopefully Piastri can do a bit of a hold up job here until he needs to pit. He's got a couple of laps now until he needs to pit. As we've got Albon, so let's see how far Albon comes out in front of... Oh, has he got a pit stop issue? He has! Yeah! Albon was ahead of Norris, so that has helped us because I thought he'd have a much bigger margin than us. Have a look at that, what's going on in these pit stops. Everyone's struggling down there.
We see the Williams crew ready here. And they can't lower the jack.
Jack problem for Albon, so that's balanced out the poor stop we had. Although he's still got a good margin, so... Still got a bigger margin, so our stop was obviously a lot worse still. He's now 6.7 ahead of us. Magson's had a pit stop issue as well, so it's all going on. Piastri's going to do a bit of a hold-up job here, which is nice. Just going to build Lando a buffer. If you're jumping into the stream, please do like the video. It really helps the channel out. Piastri is just doing a good little job here for Lando. I don't think Lando's under pressure too much from these guys behind, but this is just going to help him with Piastri holding them up. What about Gasly? Where he'd love to come out in front of all of this, wouldn't he? I don't think he wants to be stuck in this. But he's not going to get his wish there. He's going to join the back of this. Oh, and Lewis is still down in 15th with that error starting down the back of the grid due to a penalty, and now he just can't get out of this DRS train. But Piastri has held this gaggle of cars up nicely, and Lando's now got a 7.5 second buffer. Good evening, Dino. How are you? How's your Tuesday been? So Oscar finally pits, done his long run now on those hards. Nice, 2.7. So may come out probably in 19th here, we're expecting. Yeah, gonna be out in 19th, jeez. That was close. Yeah, out in 19th, but you've got 20% tyre life on these guys and a softer compound. Hopefully once we get onto the straight here, we should be job done here. Might get it done before the straight. Oscar got much better grip on these tyres. This should be easy work now with the DRS. Into turn 1, and Piastri moves himself up to 18th and now can get after Bottas. Got to move out early here. Bottas going defensive early, but looks like we're going to get it done now.
Recharge on. Copy.
Charge some of that battery into the first corner.
Recharge.
Right, so that's job done now on Bottas. Ricciardo pitting now. So Piastri is going to be promoted to 15th. Sargent on our tail with Piastri. So again, that's absolutely fine because he's on fresher tyres. Science is pitting. So yeah, Sargent may get past us, but again, that's fine. Because his tyres, if he's trying to push them to the end, can't see it happening personally. If he does, he's going to be really struggling towards the end of the race. Sargent finally gets past Oscar Piastri.
We can see what happened. Now this happened as they arrived at turn 12. They decide to give it a go.
Logan should have got that done a lot earlier. But he's finally passed Oscar. Lando's coming to the end of his stint. Alex on a new stint on those hards. So again, pretty much expected. We weren't going to be able to hold on to that one. And Albon has been about 8 to 10 seconds up the road. So it's going to be hard to catch him. Come on, Lando had a horrible stop that first stop, so let's hope this is better. Been a lot of issues in this pit lane today for all the teams though. Yashi's stop was good though, so come on. Need a good one here. Fingers crossed. All the tyres are on. Jack. Well, not too quick, but at least it's not a mistake. We'll take that. 2.9. Where are we going to filter out here then? Gasly is on the mediums and has jumped us, so that's a worry, I would say. And Hamilton may be pushing on those tyres, and obviously he's going to be up to speed as well, so we may lose this momentarily. I'm confident we can get back past Lewis. Squabbling away there. Lewis does make that move, so that's a bit frustrating for us. Amag now on the back of Piastri.
Let's see what happened there.
We see
Here
that
we are
Hamilton
then looking
overtake.
at turn 12. The opportunity begging to be taken.
So Hamilton, although he's on hards, they're up to temperature. Pushing on those, so he does get us. Hopefully we can get that back though. We are a couple of positions out of the points now.
Let's
That
take a
is
look at the replay.
handy indeed.
Now the focus is on Lando Norris here. It's there for the taking.
So we did think this would happen once Lando got the tyres up to temperature. So now we've got to close in on Nico Hülkenberg. 4.7 seconds back on him.
Copy, understood.
Oscar dropping in for his final stop, and Sargent is stopping again. Sargent's gone on to the softs. That's interesting. Didn't think he'd make those tyres last, but even softs for 11 laps. He's going to be pretty quick, but he's not going to be able to push too hard on those, as Oscar's making a right nuisance of himself there. Are we close enough here? Maybe not. Oh, I don't know though. The pace is good. Lando pulling out to the inside. It's the first attempt he's had on Hülkenberg, and we've got it done straight away, so no time lost there whatsoever. We're now 3.4 away from Gasly. He might even get the overtake done. Even not really pushing on these tyres. Maybe Gasly is conserving at this phase of the Grand Prix as well, and Lando is past. So we may as well jump back on aggressive here and extend the gap. What I was going to do is just sit in his DRS for a few laps, save our tyres.
Let's have a look at that. Now this happened as they arrived at turn 12.
But we got on the straight air DRS
It's
open and
certainly inviting.
get the job done, so no difficulty whatsoever. So now we'll, instead of sitting behind him conserving, we may as well open up that gap. Use the tyres that we've got on him, which is still 13%. Use the fuel, get a DRS gap, and hopefully bring it home faithfully in ninth. Gaining two. The yellow flag. Albon spun. Oh, yes, please, Alex. Oh, it's a big spin as well. Oh, he's kept out of the wall. That was a hell of a spin. And we saw Lando go past. But Lando has taken Albon, and that's taken about... They were on the same percentage when I then looked, so it took about 10% out of Albon's tyres. So 8's looking pretty good now. Even if Albon gets past us, we can have a little push.
Now we should
As
be
that
able to take a
all
look
was
here.
unfolding, Piastri
was at turn
has
1.
got past Ricciardo as he
the
just
opening.
follows through Perez on Danny Rick having blue flags. And Oscar
that's 16th place
seizes the
now.
opportunity, follows him through like a blue light ambulance, and says thank you very much to Danny Rick. Nonetheless, Verstappen wins. So he did get back that those places on those softs. Charles Leclerc second, Perez third for the podium. Lando Norris is going to come away with 8th. What about Hamilton here? Not going to be able to get a move done there, is he? Another lap, and I think Hamilton would have been nicking that 10th place off. But another good drive from Lando. The strategy worked in the end. We gained a position due to Albon's mistake.
P8.
Gasly is going to hold on to 10th place, it looks like.
Well done.
Lewis edging him across the line. So Alpine do gain a point, but we gain 4, so we extend by 3. So there we have it. Max wins another one, up 4 places. Charles Leclerc was on pole, but he finishes second. Perez finishes where he started, as does Sainz in 3rd and 4th, respectively. Stroll down 3 places to 5th. Alonso 6th. Russell 7th. Lando finishes where he started in 8th. Same for Albon in 9th. Here Gasly, our rivals, for 5th, and Alpine doing a great job there. Up 6 places to finish 10th and gain Alpine a point. And then a bit chop and change down here. So Lewis Hamilton had that mistake. He was bogged down because he had a grid penalty. He made a mistake early on as well with that spin. So struggled with the traffic and only manages 11th. Hülkenberg up 8 places but no points, finishes 12th. Then Oscar Piastri down 1 place, finishes 16th. Probably got the strategy a little bit wrong. Perhaps the free stop would have worked a little bit better, matching Sargent, getting on those softs at the end. But I think if we were on the lead lap, we would have got Sargent, and 15th was probably the maximum we were going to get anyway. Piastri cannot match the pace of Haas or Alpine or other Williams. Drivers' Championship, so Max is already the champion. He takes another 30 points from the sprint and race. Charles Leclerc, though, having a good weekend, jumping up to 2nd place. So he has now got a 4-point advantage on Perez. And now with just a handful of races to go, it looks like it's going to be between Charles Leclerc and Perez for 2nd place. Sainz in 4th and comfortably margin ahead of Alonso, who is in 5th all on his own. Then Stroll is looking pretty good for 6th. A battle between the Mercedes, George Russell having a good weekend, gaining 8 points on his teammate and jumping Lewis Hamilton. And as we say, Norris gaining 4 points, and the good thing for him, Ocon didn't score, it was his teammate for Alpine. So Norris now has a 28-point advantage on Ocon, so Norris will finish 9th in the Drivers' Championship this year, unless Ocon wins a race. Incredible. Gasly gains a point, and Alex Albon gaining another 2 points for Williams, which is very good indeed for them in their fight against Haas, with Haas not scoring any points. However, it should have been 4 points for Albon. There we see it. Red Bull are now constructors champions. Ferrari will finish 2nd. Aston Martin, will finish ahead of Mercedes in 3rd. Mercedes will be 4th, and the fight is still on between McLaren ourselves and Alpine for 5th. We gain 4 points, and they gain 1, so a point advantage of 3. So we've opened that gap up to 16 points. So I think unless they're going to get a top 5 or 6 finish, we're looking pretty good now for 5th. Haas don't score, but Williams tighten up the pressure on them, gaining 2 points. So it's now a 5-point margin for the battle for 7th. So 2 battles remain. Battle for 5th between ourselves, McLaren and Alpine, and battle for 7th between Haas and Williams. Fortunately, no points for AlphaTauri or Alfa Romeo. So a good result for us, bouncing back after the disappointment of Qatar. Lando finishing 8th and gaining us 4 points. Thanks very much to Albon, really, for giving us that place. As I say, we extend the gap on Alpine, so finishing 5th looks pretty realistic now in the constructors. As always, if you have got to the end of the video and you're not already, please do subscribe, do like the video, get involved in the comments, and we'll be back very soon with the next episode.